It's called I Don't Swim Below Water from the work Phocia Gyria by Robert Smith III. I've done it before, but I'll never do it again. I'll never do that again. Choosing sides during an argument. If you believe I will choose sides, you are in a world of pretend. To be a judge, you should never be partial. Unless the individual made themselves available for the picking, God refused to be partial. Unless you grow to know Him, when He knows where your heart lies, He will do everything in His power to prove that He is your greatest ally. He helps me to escape suicidal tendencies and learn ways of logic. Since something can seem sensible, while it is really like cutting a major artery and calling it your high school project, really the concept of reality is about handling the bumps in the road or the car wreck caused by carrying your heavy load. See, it is all about logic until people notice that you really make sense, to be an inspiration and not jump off the deep end into a major body of water where everyone witnesses how you faltered and not knowing how to swim. Now you're really in hot water. Now you are really in hot water. And you might believe that if you sink, you can swim like a fish. Self-reliance is your flaw, and willpower proves that your ideas are amiss. You see, God is in control of my life, so I float and don't swim below water, keeping me in His sights so that He can steer me right and protect me if I falter. Rely on God, because there is no living creation that can make it on their own. Inevitably, all living things must make a decision to tarry on and decide where they want to make their home. So the innate theory is definitely a mistake, since every knee will bow and tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord of every created place. You know, you should really learn how to swim before becoming a deep sea diver, and even make sure your back is okay before attempting a wrestling move called a pile driver. If you lost your mind, try to avoid critical decisions. And if you want to be a rocket scientist, make sure you know how to work excellent. When it comes to things that require exact precision, if you see a pig flying, don't run and tell everyone in the world that hell is freezing. And if you've been told this before, please realize that the person with this information is lacking a concept called good reasoning. If someone tells you that everything in life is free and that nothing ever costs a thing, please understand that you should watch all your possessions, I mean everything, or at least clean up their moral system before they clean out your house. If you notice deception in that person, realize that they are a mouse and are not really as harmless as a mouse. Since mischief will never be a man, and those that practice it run in packs, and after they have relieved you of all you have, you'll want to hang those mice by their tails on steel plated racks. My point is this: let God take care of all of that, since everyone on the earth will learn at their own pace, and you know that is a proven fact, jaggedly made from a sword with many edges, almost like a spear. When the target is hit, it wedges straight in the heart, slowing down an individual's motion, making an individual think critically whether life or death is the drinkable potion. Luckily, I kept a place for God in my heart, and the potion I took was worth the price. You see, I chose a new devotion and looked for information on why God is always right. Now I'm a believer, but I surely ain't crazy. There is no way that I can turn the other cheek when someone has cut my face down to the bone structure. Now I swear by my oath to God who saved me by making me a number one draft pick as a judge that has major decisions to make. You see, I learned all of the most important criteria on God's agenda while He carries my weight. I look my foes straight in the eye, and usually they slip long before I do. And now my enemies want to say that I am cruel and God is too. But the last time I checked, everyone with common sense knew that my enemies were up to no good abuse, and no one had to tell me but God in heaven as I float on. that the war my enemies have waged will be a war in which they will all lose. All right, so uh, everything that's ever lived, living now and ever will live, uh, is supposed to be married to one thing. I'm done with it. This explains like a lot of stuff that I talk about. Um, Now, what that is they're supposed to be married to, I don't know. I'm not the one with the testimony here. All I'm doing is I'm rewriting some stuff. So I've got like I've got 19 books written, and I gotta get to 101. So that's what I'm doing over there. I'm rewriting a lot of stuff. So that's what I do every day. Uh, just bear with me. Stuff that I write, stuff that I read. Don't get annoyed. Trust me. There's something in there for just about everybody. That's what my point is. Um, I'm kind of like an archive, if you want to call it that. I'm just like I got all this information in my brain. I just got to write it out at the right time. Done with that. Anyway, this is titled "I Don't Swim Below Water" from the work Phocia, period, by Robert Smith III. I'm out.